Hey, 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 hey. What's up, bubblies? My hair actually looks pretty nice right now, so I'm just gonna vibe with that. But anyways, happy Friday. It's nice that we're, upon the end of the week. I don't know if you're like myself, but I keep grinding it through the weekend, mom life, hashtag jobs, you know what I mean? But aside from that, it's beautiful, it's a blessing. And I just wanted to reflect on this new moon we just had. Excuse me, I feel like I'm having such an emotional day and I feel like I look tired. I don't have my makeup on, but I just felt like I needed to get on here. So, first off, reflecting on the new moon in Gemini that we had yesterday, it was my brother who would have been 23, Vincent's birthday yesterday. And we lost him about 4 years ago now. It just feels like it's unbelievable. But because Gemini, and because the new moon being together and happening to be on like my brother's 23rd birthday, which 23 is a very significant number to my family. So it's just mind blowing. And Geminis, they rule the mind, and it's very analytical, and it's very, they're communicators, they're very intellectual. They like to grasp things, so that's just like a piece of Gemini, and I'm going to dive back into that. But then we have the new moon, and new moons, if you don't know what phase, is when it's like looks like it's completely not in the sky or the moon goes dark. And new moons typically bring the energy of inner reflections. I always get super nostalgic, and I feel like there is such a nostalgia. It's such a shadow work vibe. It's such a remove what no longer serves you energy, or maybe not removing, because I feel it's like full moon energy, but new moon really goes into, I think, analyzing and diving into why we feel certain ways, or what our past has brought to us now, or forgiving our past. I feel like new moons are very healing, they're very introspective. So when you pair that with Gemini, and I was reading on the Astro Sky, I think it was website, I'll have to double check, but I was reading, because I like to keep up to date with what the moon phase is in, but also what sign the moon is in, because I'm finding the deeper I dive into astrology, um, it opens up this door of understanding, what sign and how it affects our moon. And yes, the sun is in, what is it, in Gemini? Yes, the sun is in Gemini, sorry. So that is, yes, you're going to see your sun sign people out there, I'm a Gemini, it's Gemini season, but the moon, has its many phases, and the moon changes what sign it's in every 2.5 days. Um, so there's that, and it almost works on like a three kind of moment, but it's like halfway through. So, which leads me to the new moon in Gemini gives us an analytical kind of vibe. It kind of wants us to communicate our boundaries, kind of stick up for ourselves, stick up for what we're feeling, express what we're feeling, and just kind of own it. Don't let it simmer and dwell in your mind. Don't go back and forth and have this like play on things. Kind of really just allow yourself to be, and just kind of let some of that out, because it is very hard. I mean, I know for me, I'm an Aries, so we've got that analytical side as well. We rule the head and face, so we are very much the mind center as well, and we go into analysis paralysis. I feel like, shout out to Vida for analysis paralysis. First time I ever heard that. But yeah, we, Aries, like suns, I feel like really just, and then I have a Virgo moon, and not to go on a dive, but like, Virgo moons are very like analyzing. We want to make sure everything is just so. We want to have things just right. And I know I'm very detail focused and oriented. So, anyways, without diving into the whole chart of myself here, how this plays is, moons are very shadow work. New moons are very shadow work energy. So, pairing it with Gemini just has really been an interesting vibe and energy to that. I really feel like it's a breaking out of the shell, allowing yourself to feel, maybe allowing yourself to sit in those vibes that made you happy, or kind of reflecting back to the past of what made you smile. I mean, I was throwing the throwbacks, playing the throwbacks of Aaliyah, getting very nostalgic with that. And I still have every photo that I ever hung up of her on my wall. So, it's just kind of even subtle, light, fun things like that. If you find yourself like reminiscing about old times or reconnecting with old, people that you used to know back in the day, old friends, reaching out to them yourself, or like seeing that these people are kind of like reaching out to you, that's what new moons like to do sometimes. And when it's paired with Gemini, like it just was, I feel like that happens quite a lot. Like people kind of get more communicative. They kind of get in their feelings and they're like, I'm feeling this kind of way and I want to express it. So beautiful stuff. But then we've got today, Friday, that is just June 7th, like full blown, we're going into Cancer because we have Gemini and then it goes in order. Cancer's next. So I feel like there was this halfway point that probably started in the earlier hours of the morning, maybe with Cancer coming in, because it was like a switch. It's like an emotional switch right now. So we're still in new moon energy. We're still going to have those inner reflections, those nostalgias and things like that. But it's like if you're holding back and you're not trying to express what's been on your mind, Gemini, right? Um, then Cancer's going to really like come in and be like, listen, you don't want to feel those feels? Let me tell you something. I'm going to bring, cardinal vibes. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to like make you feel Cancerian watery feeling vibes, feel for that and kind of look around, see your environment. I feel like like the Cancer energy download for me, like Cancerian crabs, in the zodiac, obviously we're talking about, just they give that reflection of home. What's your environment? The crabs are all about their shell. They're like, what's protecting me, what's comfortable in my space. It's just like the aura. Like, don't get me started. It's just like an aura. You have, like they say, if you put your arms out, your aura can expand that largely. So allow yourself to take up the space, but then also see what you're surrounding yourself with. Check the energy, check the vibe, check your area, because there could be things and people around you that aren't vibing. And that's just kind of coming to me like right in the ears, it's just flowing right to. So I also wanted to pull a few cards, if I may, just to get a deeper understanding for this energy that's going on. Because I'm sorry I'm not looking to the camera, but I'm just getting such an image and getting such an energy of just how this beautiful Gemini new moon, it's like the new moon is just it's giving it to us right now. In the feels, it's making us feel stuff. It's bringing things to the surface, where we may have tried to want to bury them, so let it flow, let it be, and let's just kind of see what the cards agree with or that come up with. Okay, so first off, we're going to say the energy of what the cards are feeling for us. One slipped out there, so we're going to use that as a representation for the overall kind of vibe. And then this next card, I want to set the intention to have, let's see, the solution. Oh, here we go. What is the solution? And it flipped right over. So this is beautiful. I guess they really want us to know. So what is the solution to this? Which we already got. And then do we want to do a third? Kind of the balance of the two energies. We got our problem versus solution, or it's kind of like our, energy of the new moon. And kind of how do we get through this with any stored emotions? Oh, okay. So we're going to keep this all together because these cards really flow, and just what I was speaking out really feels like it needs to be spoken. So this is kind of just a collective energy. This is kind of a collective vibe. I'm going to use this as a, whenever you see it is when you need it. So even if it's not June 7th anymore, I feel like the intentions are still meant for when you do see it. But I also feel like this is a good energetic vibe for, the week of June. What is it? June 1st? Yeah. The week of June 1st or June 2nd, all the way to the end of this week, because I feel like this is going to resonate until the 8th. I just got June 8th. So And then, if you see, no, excuse me, not June 8th, because today's the 7th, 8th, but I mean, maybe it is June 8th. Maybe it's just a short, energetic vibe to kind of get us through the new moon energy, because that's what it is in reflection of. So the new moon time, 3 days before, 3 days after, boom. Um, it certainly does feel like that, because, that's the way of the cycle, for that. So, okay. Going back into what we're working with, what kind of energies that we're, upon, the first card is right side up, and this, I'm still working with some of the elements. So I'm feeling like this is fire, because this is a very, pardon my phone, this is a very dragon-like character that also has horns, but can be very lion-esque. It's giving a lion energy. And then it's talking about our creativity zones. And kind of when I analyze this card, I'm going to show you a picture because I just didn't want to lose the energy. So as I'm analyzing this card, instantly what I see, and I believe this is the One of Fire. This is all about creative passions and intentions and bringing forth creativity, because we've got this beautiful egg, and eggs represent that fertile energy, that creativity. So it just blows my mind. And then we have the beautiful spider, which, let's not think about the current events right now, right? The Jaro spiders. But just kind of having an awareness and opening up those bubbles of consciousness. So spiders are my totem animal. I don't know if I've said that before, but I'll say it again. They are my totem, and I highly resonate with the creative energies and the divine feminine essence that spiders kind of bring off. And I just want to look a little deeper, because it's just like the claws are like ready to unleash something. They're like ready to crack the code. They're not quite like, are they going to disturb the egg, or are they a part of this cosmic energy, this cosmic essence that we're bringing forth? So it's like kind of unleashing, maybe this card is saying, because it is a passion card, it is a motivational card, creative card, that this new moon is a great time to kind of dive into what makes us feel abundant and what makes us feel creative, and possibly even a safety net too. So where's our passion? Where's our creativity? It's very much a number of solitude. It's a number of, there's one. It's you, and this is giving the self. I mean, wait till you guys see the other cards. So, this energy of one is representing like new beginnings, a start, feeling fresh. And then we've got this 5 of air, and there's such a symbology here, because it's almost giving like a justice energy. There's change, there's feathers in here, there's dragonflies, there's a face. So we're going to look at the book too, I feel like, just to kind of see what else comes up and the key words. But this is like, wow, so this is kind of the focus. So when I asked the cards, this one fell out right side up right away. And this was kind of the focus of solutions for the new moon energy and kind of our feelings, what we're feeling like. I feel like that Cancerian energy is really like, okay, once again, deep dive reflection. We've got the One of Fire, our passions, reigniting ourselves, reigniting what we love, rekindling that moment. And then we've got 5 of air, very much a symbol of change. Fives are change, they're movement. So it's like kind of get up and get moving, kind of, take off the mask, and don't be blinded by things either, because this person is like wearing a blindfold. They've got a lot of knots. There's, feathers kind of at the wrist, black feathers of protection. So it's like you're divinely protected. Keep on pushing forward. Dragonflies always represent a spiritual guide aspect to me, whether it's loved ones in spirit or, deities and guides. There is a strike of lightning. There's lightning that's going on. So it's like kind of cracking that fire and like really revealing to the surface once again, what are those inner emotions, those inner feelings? Things may be feeling rocky and chaotic and crazy, and it feels like a dark time, and you see the background, and it just reminds me of the fireflies that I haven't seen in forever. And there was so many out with this new moon because it was so dark, and I live in an area that is not light polluted. So very blessed for that. But this card kind of screams at intention. And then as a Concomancy practitioner, where I practice the divination of shells, there's a couple of shells in here, and that could just be my eyes, but these really look like nautilus, not nautilus, gosh, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze. But there's some shells here that are also representing the new beginnings. They're like those mini nautiluses. I can't remember the name right now. But just really taking off. There's a lot of twos represented in here as well. There's two dragonflies, two feathers, two shells, two wings of this angel, but there's so much coming forth. So it's kind of like pressing forth the energies and not letting your emotions take over. You're not seeing something clearing. You need to take off the mask and just feel what you're feeling. Don't try to shovel it down. And then it talks about the self. So this card is in reverse, and this is what the card looks like, the self. And this is really, really reflecting on what the balance of these two cards are. It's talking about what is our, energies of the new moon and the phase that we have and what is bringing up for us. And then we have our solution to it, which was that 5 card of air. And just kind of reconnecting with the self, stop masking things up, stop, holding things back, and just kind of allow yourself to be. And then once you're in that state of solitude, it's like if you're going to push back against and not ignite the fire and light the flame within, it's going to be tough. So she's kind of upside down. So it's like you really need to be in that triple harmonious harmony. All the symbologies here. We have 2 dragons. It feels like very much decisions. Where are you placing your creativity? Because they're fire elements here. They're fire animals, dragons. There's a transformative butterfly here at the bottom. And so that is very symbolic of new beginnings as well, and kind of flying and letting your heart flutter where it needs to go free. But if you're feeling upside down and stuck, like you have no power, your power is being drained, it's going to make you feel in this upside down state. There's beautiful blue flowers, which are talking about, I feel like, connecting with the higher self. There's shades of gold. So that's very much learning something, being tapped into an intuition with that blue there. And it can also be, the goldening. So gold shimmers in an aura for me. I usually represent new beginnings, and that's where we're seeing the butterfly in play. But it also represents solar plexus energy. So you could be having a positive outlook on life, or not really the greatest with this card being upside down. So feeling just kind of out of sorts. And that can really, come about with the energy, the way that we have it. I just want to flip this upside down. But yeah, she's got her eyes closed. So in every picture that we see here, there's eyes closed. So it's like you're not seeing something clearly. You're being blinded by something else. And maybe you're feeling stuck. And I know that, there's forces, there's otherworldly forces that sometimes feel like they're pushing up against, but you have to be just strong in your solar plexus energies, your sacral energy, and kind of transmute that to being something that's going to resonate with, your creativity. Oh, and the spider has an infinity sign on it. Can you see that? Oh my gosh. So it's just incredible and phenomenal, and I really love all these energies together. When we dive a little deep into the Ace of Fire, it does talk about new beginnings, initiatives, action, conception, invention, creation, creativity, and procrastination. So totally resonated with that card and picked up on the vibe right away. I just like to give additionals, just the keywords for you guys to see, sometimes in short and sweet, what the energy will bring. Excuse me, I'm a little parched here. 5 of air is talking about illusion, reality, separation, self-sabotage, self-deception, criticism, conditioning, and healing, which is very much what we need. Stop criticizing ourselves, stop kind of going in our head about what we're feeling and thinking. And that is the solution for this new moon, is like heal that stuff. And that's basically what I've been saying this whole entire rip. And I felt like I had to get on here. I'm on here like barely ready for the day, but I just felt like this was needed. And I don't know if this is just needed for future myself, because I also resonate with these, but I want to share that with the world too, and in honor of my brother. It was his birthday yesterday. I really didn't do much of a representation for him. I just kind of spent time with the family and honored him throughout the day. But this is a really good honor to him as well, because I feel like it's a tribute to mental health and being there for yourself and allowing yourself to have that self-love and radiate it to the world. And sometimes I know as empathic people, we can feel a little overburdened and overwashed if you're not protective of your energy, which is these feathers right here. It's really giving protect the energy. And your guides are by your side. These dragonflies, you have your loved ones, your beloveds by your side guiding you. Your higher beliefs, your elementals, the things that you believe in that bring you peace, is on your side and by your side during these times. So, you know, it feels like a message for my brother too, because he's always showing up in some type of way. And for the self card, which was in reverse, but I'll give you the keywords. It is I am, identify, self realization, self manifestation, center, peace, acceptance. So, really accepting yourself and allowing yourself to be. That is the biggest thing. Now, it does have a reverse for the card, I believe, a little reversed meaning. And so what I want to do is I want to bring up the work of this. There's a little bit of reading here, but I would like to do that because with this major arcana self card, it does resonate. So when the self card reverse, it represents a need for you to look within and ask if you are embracing other people's beliefs or behavior in order to belong. Going along with a herd mentality can make you predictable, lead others to have certain expectations of you, especially if you are predisposed to follow their lead or do as they do without question. So let me just stop right there. I feel like that has come up with a lot of things, especially when it comes to the end of the year, with some beautiful students that are like graduating and stuff. It's like, go with your heart, go with your passion, what sparks joy within you, what sparks your creativity, and protect that, because there is meaning to that, and that is a purpose in this world. And don't be blinded and blindsided by what you're feeling. If you really feel one way, express that, talk about it. We've got blue roses in this. So it's all about that expressive part, connecting with the higher self, with those transcendent or opulent whites that show up in this picture. So that's really like regaining the self. Even in this photo upside down, it's like, don't push your blessings down. Like the doves just represent so much beauty, harmony, and blessings. Don't push that down. There is a balance, there is a trilogy. It's just the ebbs and flows and the waves of life. So allow yourself to be and allow yourself to feel what you've been feeling, because this new moon energy is just really potent. I don't know if it's that parade of planets that was going on Tuesday, but it's just really energetically a lot. So here for you, give yourself the space, give yourself the time to give yourself self-love, self-care. Do something that just makes you happy. Humans have always formed tribes and communities. We are social animals and seek out others in order to feel protected and understood. But while we are and will always be part of a collective, we are also unique and individual beings who have evolved to a point where we have the freedom to be different. If we have the courage and desire to do so, in fact, we have freedoms that we do because generations before ours have defied convention and tradition, broken laws, and fought for their right to be free-thinking individuals. Very Gemini energy too, by the way. That fight is ongoing as people continue to evolve, and each tribe demands to have the same rights and privileges as their neighboring tribe. Wow, that's really resonating on Pride Month too, by the way, because also feeling the collective energies of the pain and turmoil for people that are just representing love and loving who they love. And love is the movement, love is beautiful. So that resonates even with the energy of this month, and I feel it in my heart space. You are not alone. Who you love is beautiful. And, I'm just trying to understand things day by day, every day. And I think it's just such a beautiful thing. And I wish the world could just really allow people to be, and especially when it's not hurting anybody else. So that also resonates with this new moon energy and just during this energy of pride too. And I want to represent that I am an ally. So, but not to distray so much more. Monkey see, monkey do. It is said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but there are many who do not see imitation as flattery in form. Rather, they see as act of somebody who carries a curry flavor or approval, or someone who is unable or unafraid to think for themselves. So think to yourself, Stand on your own 2 feet. Be innovative and original. Instead of doing what everybody else is doing, it does not serve to believe what others tell you to believe, nor do as others do. Unless you're truly believing as they do, then share the same values. If you want to belong, try to make yourself, try not to fit in. It's saying, be who you are, respect who you are, and then you will draw to those who are similar, who respect you, and whom will also respect. Because, like you, their free thinking, independent style are busy walking their own path. So I think that's beautiful, and that is like your vibe attract your vibe attracts your tribe energy. So this new moon in Gemini that we just had yesterday, flowing into that Cancerian energy, we're doing a lot of nostalgic reflecting back. Just to wrap it up, these were the cards. This was the energy where it's talking about getting in alignment with your passion and creativity. And I know that seems a little bit repetitive, but I just feel like it really needs to be said. The solution here, to remember that you are always divinely protected, and then also just remembering to center with the self. Don't be upside down. Don't knock yourself for needing the time alone and maybe even needing that rest and rejuvenation. Sometimes I know in this hustle culture, we feel like we need to rush, rush, rush around, and we're always needing to do something. I mean, shoot, I feel like that. I'm also a fire sign, so it feels like it's just an always on the go, just constant. But the rest is so important and such a blessing, just like the hustle is. So I'm just looking at these cards that happen to come out. So with that, I just want to share, and I'm not going to do a deep dive, but yes, it's talking about make that decision to be creative and keep the passions flowing, the creativity flowing. Remember that you can be motivated with the solar plexus colors here. Root chakra, so always stay grounded, protected, go out in nature, self-center. This is really giving us even more of that energy. Then the abundance card comes through. It's giving lots of nature energy, a light at the end of the tunnel. Everything's going to be okay. Just keep focusing on what brings you joy and brings you happiness, because abundance is on the way. And then we have, it looks like 4 of air. And I'm not surprised, because this does represent in traditional tarot the 4 of swords. So sometimes this can really represent, whenever I see it, and we did have this in the other deck I just did the other day, the balance, using that third eye, balancing your energies and balancing your health, your health and spirituality is what I'm getting. And then also being grounded and having that motivation. It's giving solar plexus, it's giving grounding, it's giving that mind, body, soul connection here. Self-love, self-introspection, self-healing. I hope you guys love this. I just felt like I needed to share, and I will give you one last look at those beautiful cards. Passions, decide to do the thing, honey. You got it on your side. Abundance is on your side. Peace, love, harmony. Everything's going to be all right. You are divinely protected, and there is going to be a way. Just remember to focus and love you. Remember you. And then 4 of swords, basically, but in this case, it's 4 of air. Just remember balance, harmony, mind, body, and soul, taking care of your health. Health is wealth. We can't say it enough. And I appreciate your time for flowing through me on this. I am sending much love, bubbles and besos. And yeah, maybe I'll be showing you guys a little update of what's to come at the end of June. I'm going to be doing a fair, a mermaid festival. So if you happen to know me personally and in the area, let me know. But otherwise, on the day of, I'm hoping to get some footage, but it's going to be a busy day. I'm going to be doing some readings there, and also going to be doing a lot of mermazing things. So potentially might have some mermaid tail action going on there, but the pool is back open. We'll see a lot of that anyways, and I'll be bringing Mermaid Mondays back. I've been kind of taking a hiatus with that, but re-inspired since there came a season for this mermaid festival, and it's totally my niche. So have an amazing day. I hope that was healing, and I hope that it brought something, beautiful to your day, kind of had you thinking. If you resonate, I appreciate. And if not, that's okay, because it's all good. Well, love to you guys. Have an amazing day. Besos and bubbles. Let's see. It's been a while since I figured this out.